Much love and power to you guys. Today we're speaking about how to leave the ego behind and really step into that higher version of ours. Really step into that higher self and really know what our truth is, And I realized that the ego is about the identification with the self. It's about who we think we are at a mental level. But really when we leave the ego behind, we step into connection. We step into connection with the universe. We step into connection with a higher reality, with a higher state of consciousness. We really let go of the things that are not serving us, and we really open our consciousness and we really move into the body, So in a way, if you are connected to the body, you are connected to your higher being, because the answer is in your body, So the more that you listen to what feels good is the more that now you are connected to your higher self. But look, that sometimes it feels like we are operating from the ego. And I realized that the ego is about separation. The ego is about fighting. The ego is about seeing the world as separated from itself. The ego is about limitation, guys. But when we actually open our consciousness, when we realize that there is actually more to this life, when we realize that we can actually be connected to our heart center, now we actually step into our higher self. Now we step into that version of ourself that is actually complete, that is complete at a soul level, that is complete at a vibrational level, that is actually complete in all kind of ways, But I realized that in order to connect to your higher self, you have to let go of the patterns that are actually keeping you stuck. You have to let go of the patterns that are actually blocking you, You actually gotta be true to yourself, and you gotta actually face your own truth, and you gotta discover what your own truth is, and go ahead and follow that, Go ahead and follow your own truth. So in order to leave the ego behind, which is again all about war, all about separation, all about creating this concordance between the human self and the other, between us and the nature, we gotta actually see into oneness, guys. We gotta see into the oneness of this life. We gotta see into the oneness of us as humans, So in a way, it is my belief that we are all connected at some level. We are all connected in some form or another, So I realized that maybe the ego and that negative part of ourselves also has to be integrated. It's not always about leaving the ego behind, because the ego may in a way be also needed to be integrated, So you gotta in a way integrate everything about yourself. But again, the ego is about separation. The ego is about limitation. The ego is about limiting desires. But the higher self is about really transforming yourself. It's about really stepping into a more powerful state of consciousness. It's about you raising your energy. It's about you opening yourself to all kind of possibilities, So in a way, we are here on a magical journey, and we are born, from my perspective, without egos. But when we actually step into this society, we get to actually create beliefs, we get to create limitations, we get to actually be educated into a version of ourselves that may or not be authentic. So when you are operating from the ego, maybe you are operating from beliefs. When you are operating from the ego, you are operating from limitation. But when you acknowledge your limitation, and when you acknowledge what actually blocks you, now you can actually step into the higher self, which is actually the best version of yourself. You can actually step into your abundant self, which is super conscious, super beautiful, super inspired. What does it really mean to be inspired? To be inspired means to be in spirit, okay? Your higher self is your spirit. It means to actually connect to your soul and actually express that energy out there, It's about connecting to your true authentic self. It's about letting go of past experiences. It's about integrating integrating yourself in the process. You know, this is my perspective on how to connect to your higher self and leave the ego behind. It's also about having patience with yourself. It's also about giving yourself the compassion necessary, you know, because the ego is about lacking limitation. When we are operating from the ego, we fail to create our reality. We fail to, from my perspective, we fail to actually be in alignment. You know, when we are operating from the ego, we fail to see the truth. We actually feel ourselves like we are separated from others, you know. But when we are operating from the higher self, we actually begin to become more transparent. We actually open our energies, you know. So it's about a conscious choice, guys. It's about a conscious choice. It's about questioning yourself. It's about questioning what is your ego and what is your higher self, you know. It's about questioning everything about yourself. So yeah, question yourself and realize that the ego is something that, yes, also has to be integrated, but at a more powerful level, at a more transparent level, at a more transcendental level. We get to actually operate from our higher selves, okay? So guys, thank you for watching. This is today's video. If you feel like you are feeling stuck, if you feel like your mind is actually on autopilot, then that may actually be your ego. But when you actually let go of some experiences, when you actually move more into your body, when you step into meditation, now you actually connect yourself to your higher self, to your higher being, to your most powerful being, which is actually you in essence, you know. So yeah guys, thank you for watching, and feel free to open your heart, because the answer is in your heart. Open your heart, and that is how you will connect to your higher self, you know. So guys, thanks for watching. Let go of the ego. Let go of the battle that you have with others or with yourself, because the only enemy is within. The only enemy is within. When you face the enemy within, you actually face everything in your life, you know. So when you heal yourself, other people's reactions, other people's behaviors won't have an effect on you, because now you're not operating from the ego. You don't want to react or return something, but now you actually take responsibility for your behaviors, for your perceptions, and for your actions, okay? So guys, thank you for watching, and I do one-on-one coaching sessions. So if you're interested in working with me, feel free to send me a message, and let's step right into the purpose, right into creativity, right into abundance, because we do deserve it. We do deserve to step into that high vibrational state of consciousness. We do deserve to live an abundant life. We do deserve to leave our egos behind, because now we are connected to a new version of ourselves. And the more that we do the inner work, the more that we do the inner stuff, is the more that now we are actually opening our consciousness to a new state of being, which is pure love, which is abundance, which is actually integrating everything that needs to be integrated. And it's about stepping into your best self. Okay guys, so much peace, and see you on what is coming up next. You have the power to create your own reality through action. You have the power to program your reality through visualization, okay? You have the power to attract a new reality through feelings, you know. But when you are operating from the ego, your vibration is low, you know. So when you are operating from the ego, you live in a limited state of consciousness. But when you are operating from that higher version of yours, now you get to be a new person. Okay guys, so much peace, and see ya on what is coming up next. I love you, and see ya.